Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TW 2020 video, and one that is a little bit different to the norm on the channel. This one's just going to be a wee roundup of the WWF save, and yeah, just what I can also say straight away. Description below, we're going to have the download link. We're going to have two. The first one will be a download link as suggested by Brian, which will be after Wrestlemania 1. So as soon as last week's series, when it finished, that was straight away turned into a database, and that is the first link for the I want to say it's the MBD file. The second one is where I've simmed the year, which we're at now, Monday week 1, April 1986, so where you see right now, and that is a link for that, where we are unemployed. Well, so obviously when you start a game, you'll be just your own user, and you'll be able to go whoever you wish. Obviously a lot changed in the space of that year, where as you can see, Glow have launched right on this day. Now remember, once you've got the MBD files, what you need to do is first off create a folder within your databases for this particular file, and then within that folder always remember to create your SaveGames file. If you don't create that, it won't work. But if you create those two files, create those two folders and put the file of the database into them, everything should work smoothly. And I believe you're looking at, I think you'd use many face pack for this one. I want to say it's NGO Generations. It might not be. I may double check that. But yeah, let me know if you're struggling to get pictures for it, and I can look up the database. And you know what? I could look up the database, or let's just go and find out. NGO Generations. I was right. There we go. Perfect. So, what we're looking at here is basically the difference in, what has happened since we finished up. So I gave up in 1985, it's now 1986. So I'm hoping it can be a successful time for the WWF since I left. One thing that was always there when I was there, but won't be there in an AI world, is obviously the toxic backstage area, because it is imported from an old database. So bear that in mind as well when you start up the saves with the database you get from me. It's still based off those old databases, so there is still going to be horrible backstage issues, so remember that one. So company wars. So on the face of it, you'd think WWF being in 8th place looks shocking. It's not a big company at all. I had to think about this. They're actually doing exceptionally well, and I think I kind of underestimated how good a job we actually done with the WWF, because whilst it's number 8 in the world, it's absolutely destroying the United States of America. It's big, and it's way above CWA and the CWF as well, the Canadian Wrestling Federation. It's just other countries around the world where WWF, and it was the same when I was there, didn't quite get the exposure that it was required. But if we look at it, because obviously Vince McMahon's not there anymore, Tiger Jet Singh is your new CEO and booker of the World Wrestling Federation. And interestingly, they went ahead and made Hulk Hogan the figurehead of the company. But you can see just small things there, great prestige, momentum's at a high level, and they also brought back the Wrestling Challenge, although interestingly enough, Monday Night Raw just lost its deal. If I can see it, is it going to pop up there? Loses slot on ESPN. So Monday Night Raw was shown probably nowhere, probably just locally. So look here actually. So they've got TV Mexico North showcasing their events. So they're trying to maybe go more globally with their events. But if we just go to events in TV, Raw's still happening. And you can see it's on plenty of channels, even on Scottish television. So a lot of places around the world are getting it in a prime time slot, although mostly Mexico, Japan, Canada. I don't know what BAFTA is, and I know obviously Granada and Scottish television is the UK. The shows they've been producing far better than mine. They've probably been a bit more aggressive with who they've been putting on. I was obviously reluctant to give away big matches, and they brought Wrestling Challenge back as a B show. So those are the kind of people they've been putting on there. Tiger Jet Singh, likes of Scott Hall, obviously way in advance of the level he got to in terms of overness. So not too much I actually want to check. Alumni obviously won't give us an idea of who left when, so for that one we're probably better going to the news items. And that's, I'm hoping, the last year. I think that is roughly the last year or so, because you've got there, that's March 86, and that's just this year, so that's cool. We'll filter it by year then. I don't know if there's any that's actually been released. You can see Steve Stack being hired, but nobody as much being let go. But 1985, Buddy Rose extended, Dino Bravo extended. There you go there when Jeet Singh took over pretty much at the end of 1985, so quite a good while after we left there. A couple of other people extending. What else have we got? There you go, expands its coverage in a lot of places. The Tommy Rich extend the deal with the WWF as well. Dusty Rhodes, Hector Guerrero. So yeah, it seems like they done pretty big things and kept most people on. I think the one I really saw leaving is probably King Kong Bundy there, and I'm pretty sure he's a freelancer as well. Oh, there you go, they got rid of Mr. T, they got rid of Rocky Johnson, and then literally 2 days after I left, they took away Andre as the figurehead and put in Hulk Hogan. So the few things I'm going to look at, I'm going to look at your champions first. So the IC Championship, when we left it, it was under the tutelage of a second run of Gino Hernandez, who won it at WrestleMania. He then dropped it to Dino Bravo, who lost it to Buddy Roberts even, and then Alexis Smirnoff. And I'm pretty sure that's someone that when I was there, I think I just jobbed him out. So 19 wins and 3, 15 and 23, and 7 and 2. So I never personally utilised them. If I did, it was mostly in defeat. And now he sees himself as the Intercontinental Champion. The King of the Ring went to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. They've still never used the Women's Championship, so that's fine. I never did that myself. The Tag Team Championships, well, we finished up with Greg Valentine and Dino Bravo as champs. They lost it to Billy Graham and Terry Funk before it moved along to Austin Idol and Don Morocco, who've had it since the tail end of November. The World Heavyweight Championship, well, just the one change. They kept it on Hogan, who we gave it at WrestleMania. He held it right through until January, and just showing that the AI maybe doesn't care too much about backstage. Kurt Hennig is your champion, the same Kurt Hennig we were jobbing out and letting go because of his major fallout with Andre the Giant. So it just shows you in this, if we go to his personnel information, you can see how everybody turned against him, yet he still is the main man in the World Wrestling Federation. How things are different. 2 years running, he's been champion, and he's had an opportunity, 2 championships, never got real life, which is just mad. Have they given us any stables? The Collaboration, a 4-person alliance formed between Austin Idol, Buddy Rose, Steve Kern, and the Grand Wizard of Wrestling. The Consortium, a faction with Larry Zbyszko, Ivan Koloff, and Nikita Koloff. And the Resistance, a 5-person faction formed by the Hulkster with Tito Santana, Dynamite Kid, Hector Guerrero, and Jim Duggan. Other things to look at as well. 58 million in the bank, so they are absolutely rolling it in. And the last show that we really care about, Wrestlemania II. How did their Mania do in comparison to the stuff I would have booked? Let's scroll the main events that you kind of want to see. So it was Kurt Hennig retaining the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship against Dusty Rhodes. Larry Zbyszko defeating Gino Hernandez. Andre the Giant defeating Ric Flair. Hulk Hogan defeating Ted DiBiase. Tommy Rich defeating Tully Blanchard in an I Quit match. The Macho Men defeated Wild and Wicked. So that would be Austin Idol and Don Morocco against Dynamite Kid and Hector Guerrero. Very interesting generated tag names. The Bounty Hunters defeating Terry Funk and Bob Backlund. Of course, the Bounty Hunters was the tag team of Dr. David Schultz and Dutch Mantell, as they took on Backlund and Funk there. And we also had Alexis Smirnoff retain the championship against Buddy Roberts. with Bruiser Brody, Dino Bravo and Sika defeat the Juggernauts alongside Jake Roberts, that being Raymond Rougeau and Scott Hall. And a pre-show saw matches for Tito Santana against Rick Rude. Big John Studd took on Tiger Chung Lee. Mike Rotundo defeated Pat Patterson, and Tiger Jeet Singh over Johnny Rodz. The last thing I want to check, I'd probably forgotten about a million things, but that's why the file's been made available. If you want to check them out, it's all going to be there. Is your usual Power 500. So that's just WWF guys. So the highest rated WWF guy in the world would have been Terry Funk, Gino Hernandez, Don Morocco, Tommy Rich and Andre, all getting some good ratings in there. But who was number 1? We just go to reset, makes it quicker. Antonio Inoki dominates. Look at all those light blues. That's an incredible run of matches in New Japan. So I'm assuming he's been up there. Oh, it wasn't as much up there last year. It was Genichiro Tenryu. I've probably butchered that. He won it in 1983. And obviously Ric Flair would have been real life in 1982. There actually was one more thing I wanted to check, if I can remember where I'm going. Good annual awards. So we'll run them off. Antonio Inoki, obviously the Wrestler of the Year. Tag Team of the Year went to Akira Maeda and Genichiro Tenryu. Young Wrestler of the Year went to Nobuhiko Takada for the second time. Your Veteran went to Abdullah the Butcher. Bill Nakano with the Female Wrestler of the Year for the second time in a row. And the Independent Wrestler went to Devil Masami. Company of the Year for the 9th time in existence went to New Japan. And the Most Improved Company went to All Japan, I believe. Nope, yeah, it was All Japan. All Japan Women's Wrestling though. Match of the Year was in the WWF, and it was a match on Raw which saw Ric Flair defeat Jim Duggan. There you go. Incredible. That's your third 100 rated matchup, and the AI doing something that I've yet to achieve. And in 1985, the best show of the year was Wrestlemania 1. So delighted with that, because that was me that booked that. So it still remains my biggest show. And spoiler, I get one in my WWE that's a 97 as well. So I'm getting there, but not quite at that 100. Roddy Piper is Manager of the Year for the second year. Gordon Soley with the 10th award of the Announcer of the Year, so he's doing great with that. Colour commentator went to Michael P.S. Hayes, and Tommy Young as your Referee of the Year. So that's it. Thank you as always for tuning in. As I say, that's kind of what's happening in the WWE and various other places in this, if it decides to stop lagging on me this game. But basically, a hit back would help. Yeah, the download links are below. If you've got any issues, I'll try and type out what I said on the video, if that maybe, because some people are better at following instructions when they're written down rather than verbals, and of course my accent sometimes doesn't help. But they should be fun to play. As I say, just watch out for the backstage area, that could be a bit toxic. But we're hoping, as I said in the written post, that at one point we can see another series join the channel. I just want to find a bit of time, and if I'm not going to be doing Road to Glory, I kind of want to make sure we're flowing and continually going there. I don't want to get like 12 episodes in and I've financially mismanaged the company one more time. So I'd say if it does go to happen, it'll be something where I'll probably start it maybe 2 months in advance, and I'll backdate it in the sense like I know it's working, it's fine, and then we'll start loading up episode after episode, because that's not really going to be showcasing the shows too much. When you're doing a Road to Glory to start with, it is going to be a case of, well, your management decisions rather than the shows itself. So keep that in mind. We might see it at one point, but how close that is, I really couldn't say at this moment in time. But as always, the EW videos will go up every Wednesday. That's booked up until early December. What a hell of a lot of fun I had with that. So the wee break will give me a good idea of future booking plans as we start to run towards All Out. And WWE is WWE, you know what I mean? So much micromanagement on it, 3 hour shows, but I wouldn't change it for the world, and I feel it's going to be my best opportunity to get 100 rating. But it's just something that's always been on the channel, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. So I do enjoy it, it's just a bit stressful trying to get everything to go to plan when your announced teams are terrible. But that said, hope you guys are enjoying the game. Remember, if you have never played it before or you want to try it out, links etc. in the description below. Best place to check out tw.db, and of course the Fantasy Booker subreddit as well. Try and frequent on there as much as possible. Sometimes time just allows me to post my video and that's about it, but I try and read up and reply to folk if I can on their threads etc. It's all hectic at the moment, as you can imagine. And apart from that, of course, everything you need as well. Grey Dog Software forums. But honestly, even just hashtag TW2020 on Twitter, you find some great sources. I mean, you always find some good people on there that you maybe never knew about. You can just talk about WWF and all that. It's always good to compare booking plans. And as I say, because it's such a niche game, there's always some source of information or community somewhere that you went, oh, I never really knew about that. So just keep hunting about and you'll find all the resources you need to really get into the game. So I've done enough. That's for a short video, nearly 16 minutes. So cheers for watching, stay safe guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.